Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Oral Reports. Now, today, I'd like to talk about an animated spy show that I used to watch on Cartoon Network. Totally Spies. Created by Vincent Chalvon Demercier and David Michael, and mainly produced by French company Marathon Media, lasting for 6 seasons from 2001 to 2013 for a total of 156 episodes. The show centers on 3 teenagers from Beverly Hills who are recruited by the secret organization known as WOOHP, or World Organization of Human Protection, to be undercover spies. With the help of their mission control Jerry, the girls are given girly spy gadgets and are sent across the world to fight crime. However, I was first introduced to the show randomly during late spring of 2006 when my sister tuned into Cartoon Network, and after watching it that day, despite the girly tone, sexism, and vapid stereotypes, I thought the show was a lot of fun. However, like the Winx Club movie, not long after I graduated from high school, I found out that Totally Spies received a full-length movie, and that's the subject of my blog today. So, released in France on July 22nd, 2009, this is Totally Spies the movie. So, let's get started. After some serious training, for their very first mission as WOOHP spies, Sam, Alex, and Clover investigate the disappearances of people across Beverly Hills, uncovering a very serious plot involving trendy makeover machines, a fancy space hotel, and global destruction. So, what are my thoughts on the movie? Well, in my eyes, this movie is equally as fun as the show, and I think it does a pretty good job showing us how the show began. But to further explain why I like the movie, let's move on to Mustang notes. So, like the Powerpuff Girls movie, this film is a prequel to the TV show, and it covers how the girls first met and how they became spies. It was released in French theaters by Mars Distribution. However, while it did get a DVD release in France and New Zealand, it sadly hasn't been released to DVD in any North American country except for Mexico. But I don't think that's too much of a big deal, because, like with Magic Island and The Little Engine That Could, the only way to watch it nowadays is on YouTube. Also to note, the film earned the 2011 Kids Screen Awards under Best TV Movie category. Now, what do I think about the animation? Well, I think the animation is pretty good, and it does stay true to the show, even though the character expressions and reactions can be a bit cartoony sometimes. And while I do like the design of Beverly Hills, I still ask, why do these guys have to make it so futuristic? Oh well, it still looks cool anyway. Also, I kinda like that the final climax is in space, on a luxury-styled space station called Fabutopia. Also, in my opinion, some of the most memorable scenes in the movie is when the girls stop a giant sushi roll from rolling down the street, the jet chase, and the random walk like an Egyptian scene where the girls try to evade the principal. Plus, some of my favorite spy gadgets that are featured are the compounder, the expandable cable bungee belt, the heat sensor sunglasses, the jetpack backpacks, the laser lipstick, and the tornado in a can of hairspray. Also to note, I like that the girls' famous spy jumpsuits were designed by Clover. However, I think the most over-the-top scenes in the film is when Sam's computer gets a WOOHP virus, Alex gets transferred to the desert, and Clover is arrested due to her credit cards getting maxed out. Plus, the idea of the Fabulizers changing people's appearance is okay enough, but the moles having a mind control device, that's the most common thing featured on the show. Anyway, now that we're done with Mustang notes, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought them to life. Let's begin with our three main heroines. Sam, voiced by Jennifer Hale, best known as Disney's current Cinderella. Clover, voiced by Andrea Baker, and Alex, voiced by Katie Griffin, who voiced Sailor Mars from Sailor Moon. Sam is the intellectual of the group, who acts as a rational, logical thinker in getting through the problems they encounter on their missions. And Sam is my favorite out of the three. Clover enjoys shopping, fashion, and good-looking guys. Plus, she is athletic and strong, as well as impulsive and spontaneous. And Alex is the best friend character and tomboy of the group, who serves as the glue that holds their friendship together. Plus, Alex is affectionate, and she likes to express her feelings. She also loves animals, and sometimes acts kind of childish compared to the other two. WOOHP's mission control, Jerry, is voiced by Adrienne Truss, whom I remember from Roly Poly Oly and Atomic Betty. Like in the show, Jerry gives the girls a briefing on their missions, and he provides them with the various gadgets that they'll need. To me, the way Jerry recruited the girls was kind of weird and later forceful. Plus, I thought it was kind of creepy that Jerry has been observing the girls since their childhoods. Though, I did like the scene where Jerry trains the girls Fruit Ninja styled. And I thought it was kind of funny when he was seen at the high school in the form of a cook. Also, I thought it was awesome when Jerry helped rescue the fabulized victims with one of the WOOHP space planes. This is Oinky, a pig adopted by Alex. To me, Oinky is a really cute character, and I like the part where he does a distraction by running around Pepe's lobby. Also, later on in the movie, Oinky becomes a victim of the Fabulizer. Also to note, this movie wouldn't be the last time we ever see him, because afterwards, Oinky plays a very special role in a future episode where he would pose as a dog. Next we have Mandy, also voiced by Jennifer Hale. Like in the show, Mandy is a really obnoxious teenage brat who serves as a rival to the girls. And I really hate that high-pitched laugh of hers. It's just so annoying. However, since Mandy is one of the several people who got fabulized, the girls decide to tail her before she was taken to Fabutopia. Next we come to the movie's villain, Fabu, voiced by Joran Jarski. Fabu was a runway model who quickly lost fame in 5 minutes on the runway, and he was ashamed of not being a part of the crowd during his childhood. His evil plan is to abduct everyone who went through the Fabulizer and bring them to Fabutopia to live out new lives, and then use a missile to destroy Earth. To me, that plan is completely insane, especially when he gives the girls horrible makeovers. Also, I haven't seen anybody attempt to destroy Earth with a missile since the brave little toaster goes to Mars. Crazy, huh? Fabu's right-hand man, Yuri, is voiced by Jason Gray. Yuri was the one who built Fabu's fabulizer machines and the Fabutopia space station, in return for Fabu helping him with his Michael Jackson-style spacewalk in Moscow back when he was a cosmonaut. Another antagonist in this movie is Tad, voiced by Jay Schramek. Tad used to be Jerry's assistant and top spy, but when Clover, Sam, and Alex were forcibly recruited, he realized that he was losing his status with Jerry. So, Tad decided to stupidly sabotage their mission and try to defeat Fabu himself. Thankfully, at the end of the movie, Tad was arrested and replaced by a Parisian operative named Vincent. Next is Ms. Scritch, the principal of Beverly Hills High School, voiced by Barbara Budd. I find this woman to be a highly authoritative principal, and I kind of don't like her for how she treats Sam. But thankfully, at the end of the movie, Scritch has been transferred to Antarctica as punishment by the Beverly Hills School District for child abuse. The film also includes Pepe Wolfman, voiced by Walker Boone, and Rob Hearthrop, voiced by Lion Smith. Before they were abducted by Fabu, Rob was a rock star, and Pepe was an animal psychologist. Plus, after the girls save them, Rob asks Clover out on a date, and Pepe invites Alex for a special session with her piglet. And now for my final words. Overall, Totally Spies the movie, despite some mediocre and over-the-top moments, is still a fun spy movie. The girls are likable, the animation is pretty fine, even if the facial expressions and reactions can be cartoony, and the action and humor are pretty decent most of the time. Also, the writing can be a bit off the charts sometimes, and also the main villain, Fabu, was fun, while Tad was bland. Still, if you're a fan of the show, I suggest you to watch it on YouTube, especially if you grew up with Cartoon Network like I did. As for my rating, I'll give it an 89% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to stay tuned next time as we head over to the UK for another animated spy movie, Mustang Power.